G'day guys, welcome to my RS V2 video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Hyundai Aleague for match week 17's recap preview for 2021 guys. So let's get started. So starting off with this first game of that match, we see the Western Sydney Wanderers going up against the Brisbane Roar. Now, and that game was pretty much an alright game. I didn't think that the Brisbane Roar were going to obviously win that match, but I did say in that video that the Brisbane Roar are a very good team, and obviously they are, and I just didn't think in that game was going to be a spectacular match, but it was going to be a close game, and it was it was obviously 2-1 for that scoreline, and it was a very close match anyway in that game. And I didn't think in that match that Brisbane Roar were going to win in that game, which I didn't think in that game that Western Sydney Wanderers were going to lose in that match. They are a very good team. I just didn't think that the Western Sydney Wanderers were going to win in that game, because the Brisbane Roar have been on fire lately, and they've been pretty much an alright team. I didn't think Dylan Wintle-Halls was going to play that game very well, and he obviously didn't score in that game, but the only player that basically scored in that match was Bruce Kamau for Western Sydney Wanderers, and two players that basically scored, I think, was Josh Brindle South, if I believe, and Dan Saki was the other player that basically scored anyway. So in my opinion, the Western Sydney Wanderers have been pretty good so far. They've been on top of their form. They've been pretty much an alright team. I just didn't think that they were going to win, but it was going to be a close game anyway. But in that match, which I didn't think they had that benefit of the doubt, the Western Sydney Wanderers have been alright so far in the season, but I just didn't think that they were going to win against this good old Brisbane Roar side anyway, which I think Brisbane Roar did really well to beat the Western Sydney Wanderers anyway 2-1 for that scoreline. The next game of that match, we see the Western United going up against the Central Coast Mariners. Now, in this game though, what I did think in that game, that the Central Coast Mariners are a really good team. I cannot believe though that the Western United have only beaten this side 1-0, and Connor Payne was the only player that basically scored for the Western United side in that team. I just didn't think that it was going to be a close game, and they only just kicked one goal to basically win that match for sure. And the only thing that really tempted me was I thought the Central Coast Mariners were going to win in that game. And in my opinion about that match, I just didn't think that the Western United were going to win. I thought the Central Coast Mariners were going to win. But apparently it was the other way around. Western United won that game and Central Coast Mariners didn't anyway. Usually the Central Coast Mariners are a really good team. They have been on fire lately. They've been scoring a lot of goals. Defence has been pretty solid so far. But in that match, I just didn't think that they were alright in that game. And to be honest, I hate to think that they were going to lose in that game, but they obviously did. And credit to the Western United side for making a really good win anyway. But it was obviously a difficult decision to obviously make in that match, to think that if Mariners were going to win, they were going to win. But in my opinion about this game, I just didn't think that the Mariners were going to be on top of their form. They have been, though, the last couple of weeks. They were alright, but yeah, the only player that basically scored in that game was Connor Payne from the Western United side. And yeah, well done from the Western United for making a really good win against the Central Coast Mariners 1-0 for that scoreline anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Melbourne City going up against the Melbourne Victory. Now, in this game, which I cannot believe that the Melbourne Victory didn't win this game. And in my opinion, usually the Melbourne Victory gets a really good win. And, apparently they didn't. And they obviously got thrashed 7-0 in that game. and I mean 7-0, which that means Andrew Naboo, Andrew and Luna, and Jamie McLaren has scored 5 goals in that game. What an absolute game that was. And usually Jamie McLaren is a world top class finisher for Australian side, and I just think that Jamie McLaren has been a really good player for his obviously club, but in my opinion about this game, I just didn't think that he was going to score 5 goals in that game, and that's obviously a really good job for him. But to say this though, Melbourne Victory are hopeless, terrible, and they just haven't been winning games so far. But the only thing that they've won is against Newcastle Jets, and this one they only won against like they only lost. So Melbourne Victory are just they just basically thrashed the Melbourne Victory side. Melbourne City, has thrashed the Melbourne Victory. But in my opinion about this game, Jamie McLaren is a really good finisher, and I was not expecting this at all. But I just had a gut feeling that the Melbourne City were going to win in that game. But yeah, well done for the Melbourne City for making a really good win against the Melbourne Victory side, 7-0 in that game. The next game of that match, we see the Sydney FC going up against Adelaide United. Now, okay, this game, which I didn't think in this match, another top performance in that game, and which I believe in the Adelaide United side. I just didn't think that in this game it was going to be a really tight match. And the only thing about it is they didn't win. Both of them sides didn't win. And usually Sydney FC are an average, really good team, but unfortunately they didn't make a win, and so didn't the Adelaide United side. And which I didn't believe also too. I reckon in this game that it will be a very close match, but it obviously was. And I obviously knew from my opinion last week that I thought they were going to win, but unfortunately they didn't. So it was 2-2 the scoreline in that game, and I did not think in this game that the Sydney FC were going to win and Adelaide United were going to win. But the Adelaide United have been really good so far, and they have been alright in defence, attack, scoring goals, yes, but not good enough, obviously. But then it's how the way you verse against teams like, say for instance, like right now, Sydney FC last week, 2-2. That's hard team to basically beat. And obviously, Melbourne Victory, yes, they'll win. But Central Coast Mariners, probably yes, probably not. But anyway, it was tied for that scoreline, 2-2. In that match, anyway, and yeah, it was a real tight performance. The next game of that match, we see the Newcastle FC going up against the Newcastle Jets. Another tie, 2-2 in that game. I didn't think that the Newcastle Jets were going to win because they've been terrible so far. Last couple of weeks, they've been alright, but then now they've just fallen apart, not equalising properly, and I just think that they are going to have a terrible season this year. And for my opinion about this game, usually Newcastle FC are a pretty alright team, and in my opinion about this match, Newcastle FC have been really good so far, but not good enough in my stage. And I can tell by Newcastle FC being a really good team, like, say for instance, first against Newcastle Jets, yeah, 2-2. And then first against Adelaide United, they'll probably lose that game. And then say for instance, if they verse like Central Coast Mariners, they'll probably win or lose. But then, depends on the performance and stuff, but I just didn't think that Newcastle FC were going to win in that match. But obviously, in my opinion about that game, I just didn't think also Newcastle Jets were going to win. And they've been really soft so far. And it's just absolutely crazy. And I just didn't like how the way Newcastle Jets are, because like the last couple of weeks they've been alright, and now they're just being soft and terrible, and then not even winning a game. It's like Melbourne Victory, they're not even winning a game at all. But yeah, 2-2 the scoreline, and it was a tie for that match anyway. And last but certainly not least, we see the Perth Glory going up against the Wellington Phoenix. Now, in this game, which I didn't think in that match, the Wellington Phoenix obviously won that game 3-1, that scoreline. And Perth Glory, I just didn't think that they were going to win in that game. And obviously, in my opinion, the Perth Glory have been alright so far, but they're just not getting the finish, they're not getting a win, and they're not getting like wins for their team, and obviously for the club. But Wellington Phoenix have been doing alright. They've been like winning a couple of games, then coming off a loss, then winning a couple of games, then coming off a loss. But then it just comes to that turnaround point that they usually do win. But it depends who you're playing against, really. And it's kind of crucial that Perth Glory were obviously not going to win in that game, but it was definitely a tight and hard game anyway in that match. And obviously, in my opinion, the Wellington Phoenix side are a really good team, and they have been so far. But last couple of weeks, they've been soft, terrible, but they're just coming off a really good win right now against Perth Glory side. And I just didn't think that the Perth Glory were going to win in that game, and obviously Wellington Phoenix. But luckily for Wellington Phoenix, they obviously won against Perth Glory. And usually the Perth Glory have really good players and do obviously really good things, but the Wellington Phoenix are obviously a really good team. But yeah, well done for the Wellington Phoenix for making a really good win against the Perth Glory anyway. 3-1 for that scoreline. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. We'll be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care, guys. Stay safe and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 300 subscribers. We're seeing on 208 anyway, so let's go up to that. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.